Hello, welcome to today's tutorial. I'm Kayode Leke and I'll be treating theory of logo design in this tutorial. What is a logo? It is a printed design or symbol that a company or an organization uses as a special sign. You know definitely that a lot of companies and organizations have logos, and new startups usually want logos for their business. These days, a lot of persons are really looking into getting a logo because when you have a logo for your business or for your company, it gives you a uniqueness and it helps you to stand out, and it also helps to build trust amongst your customers. It helps your customers to recognize you even without your name. It serves as a symbol, that wherever it's being seen, they know that, oh, it's so person, it's so business, it's so company. So having a logo for your business is no longer a function of, do I need it? It's now a function of, this is necessary. So if you don't have a logo, I would advise you get one today for your business. Okay, now we have 7 types of logo designs. Whenever customers come to me and they ask that how kind of design would they get, and the first thing I do is I give them a questionnaire, and in the questionnaire these samples are always there so that they can have a graphical representation of the kind of logos that exist, and it can also help them to narrow down their own interest. It also helps you in your design in the sense that you don't just beat around the bush and just design logos haphazardly. It helps you to tap into the mind of your client and make them to give you the right kind of logo that they want. Now, the first type of logo here, you can see the Pepsi sign, abstract. Just something not usual. Something that is not definite. That's a kind of abstract kind of logo. Then here we have the mascot. For example, here is the KFC. Mascot logos more or less look like cartoons. Yeah, a cartoon, you would have seen a lot of logos like this KFC logo. I don't know if you know the logo of the Pizza Hut. The Pizza Hut too is something like a mascot logo, whereby maybe the face of someone, it's on the design, but it's now in a cartoonish way. So that's mascot logo. Then we have combination mark, just like this. You can see the Burger King. You just have words on it, and you just have some abstract movements on it. Then you have the emblem. The emblem is very easy to reckon with. Most of these the football clubs make use of emblem. Even schools, you usually call them badges. So but it's actually an emblem logo. Then the letter mark, as you can see here, NASA. Letter mark basically is like you just taking text and making it look fancy, and you call it a logo. So that's letter mark. Then pictorial mark. Pictorial mark here, like this Apple logo, it's just like a picture, no additives, nothing. Why this is different from the abstract is because it's basically like a picture and it's simple. It usually don't used to have more than maximum 2 colors. It's always very simple. It's more or less like a silhouette. This is a silhouette of an apple that is being eaten by the side. So it's usually simple and direct, with most times no more than 2 colors. Then the word mark. like the Google design we have here, it's just a word, no fancy to it. It's different from the letter mark. Letter mark also always have fancy, but the word mark is just like that, just as it is. There's no fancy to it. It's like a normal text that you type on your Microsoft Word. What will be treated in this tutorial is, one, we'll be looking at logo design process. I'll be showing you the process that I myself go through with clients, the process I follow through in designing a logo for a client. Then I'll also be showing you how you can get ideas whenever you want to design logo. Now, talking about the logo design process, the steps I'll be running with you are steps that I basically I use when I get a client for logo design. Now, the first thing I do is get a design brief. I get to know the client's business. I ask for a summary of what the business is all about, because I've come to realize that most clients usually have more than one business, and they might end up wanting a logo that will be encompassing, that will cover all the business subsidiaries that they have. So most likely it will sound like a logo for a group of companies. So you just need to have a discussion with the client. Let the client send you a summary of what they do, so that you can tap into the initiative of what the business is about. Then research. Conduct research focused on the industry, its history, and competitors. Basically, for businesses now definitely have competitors. So it's always very, very important for you to have an idea of what the competitors of that particular brand is doing. This is very easy. You can just go to Google, just search out, probably if you're working with a fashion design outfit, you could just type fashion design outfit logos in maybe Nigeria or maybe America, or you could be specific with locations also, so that you can know the part, so that you can actually have an idea of what is trending within that locality. Then the next is brainstorming. This is when I actually conceptualize ideas and make decisions on the possible design directions. Basically, you just have an idea, then you make a decision on on which way you should go with the design. For instance, you could have, after checking your research, you might notice that maybe what is trending in a fashion outfit is mostly of the emblem, or maybe what has been trending is mostly of the mascot. So it will help you to narrow down your brainstorming or your concept to the maybe maximum two kinds of concept that are quite common in the industry. The next is sketching. This is where I actually developed the logo design concept around the brief and research. A lot of we designers, we tend to just go to the system and just start drafting things. But basically, I for one have personally discovered that when I have a concept in my head and I just go to the system, I tend to forget the design. The picture tends to fade as time goes on. So it's always good if you pick up a pen and paper just before going to the computer. Just pick up a pen and paper. You could sketch out the concepts you have in your head. You could have about 3, 4. Just sketch all the concepts down on a paper. Then the next thing is to execute your design. You select promising logo design concepts and execute them digitally. So this is a stage whereby I actually go to the system and I draft them on the system. You know, you could actually I mostly use Photoshop for my logo designs, but you could also use Adobe Illustrator. You could use Inkscape. You could use CorelDRAW, but I find it more convenient using Photoshop for my designs. But notwithstanding, whichever package you use for your logo design, irrespective, what matters the most is you having your sketches down on paper so that you don't tend to forget the concepts while drafting on the computer. So the next thing after the design of your logo is the presentation. So this is very important because you need to present your logo to your clients. You know, you need to show the client, okay, these are the concepts I have laid down. As for me, I try as much as possible. In fact, it's a rule for me and for Extreme Design, which is my company. We make sure we present at least 3 concepts to our clients. At least 3 concepts to our clients. Why is because, you know, as human beings, we tend to have options. We don't like restrictions in making decisions. It's just human, and it's something you cannot change. So if your business must thrive, your business must move forward, if you must satisfy your clients, it's always nice when you give your clients an option. You know, the truth is, psychology has made us to know that people appreciate more of their own ideas, more of their own decisions than other people's own. So don't forget that your clients are coming to you to design a logo for them, but in the real sense, they are actually paying you to get into their head and to bring out what they like. So it's an equivalent task. It's a real deal. If you're only trying to portray what is in your own head and forcing it onto your client, so it's nice, and I think it's reasonable to have options. So the client will definitely select what they like, and from there they can make adjustments. Now the next phase is where you make revisions and get approval. So sometimes a lot of clients, you know, might not be satisfied, and they might be picky in the sense that they might pick a particular design, or they might pick 2 designs and say, okay, work on 2 designs. But mostly what I do is I first have a conversation with a client before starting. Then we agree and tell them the terms and conditions and make them understand that, oh, this is how I run my process. These are the amount of designs I'll give to you. This is the amount of design you will need to select when I've given the designs. Then this is the design. Then we'll now work on that design till you're satisfied. I always like to use that word till you're satisfied because it gives them a certain relief that, oh, your revisions are unlimited. Because a lot of presses will tell you, oh, you only have maximum of 2 revisions, you only have maximum of 3 revisions. But what if after 3 revisions the client is still not satisfied? So being satisfied is non-negotiable if your business must get referrals or move forward. Then after this client is happy and you get an approval on the revisions, then the next is the delivery. You deliver your final logo artwork and identity guidelines. So basically, why this is very, very important as every other part of the process is because you basically need to explain a lot of things to the clients. There was a particular client I designed a logo for, and when she was pasting a logo on Instagram, I noticed that the logo she was pasting it with, she was adding it to pictures with a white background. So, and I had to call her up and say, oh, why is there always a white background around your logo on every picture you paste it on? And she said, that's what I sent to her. And I said, no. That's when it dawned on me that I need to sensitize my clients before or after every delivery or of my logo at work. So I had to tell her that, oh, I give I I sent you several files, which I usually do. I sent you several files. I sent you a PDF format of your logo. I sent you a JPEG format of your logo. I sent you a PNG format of your logo. So I had to explain to her that, oh, if you want to paste this on anything, it's best you use the PNG format, because the PNG format only has the logo on it and the background is always transparent. So it takes the background of wherever the logo is being pasted. So that's why being delivering and explaining things is important. Also, another thing in terms of delivery is in the use of mockups. The different kinds of mockup. I'll create. I'll give you a video, a tutorial on that later. But having a mockup for your deliveries is very important. It helps the client to see how their logo will look like. For instance, if the organizations whereby their logos are always printed on their wall or maybe on their stationaries, you could have a sample of the logo on maybe a business card or maybe on a wall or maybe on a t-shirt. These are mock-ups. It helps them to see how the logo is going to look on the long run. So now the second phase is how I get ideas for my logos. Now this is the logo I designed for a client, and this bigger one was what the client later accepted. Now these other two by the side are the other concepts I sent alongside this actually chosen one. But the thing is, the first thing I do, when to get an idea for a logo, the first thing I do, I first break down the words in the logo. For instance, this is Orlando Global Services Limited. The first thing I did was I took out Orlando because I know Orlando is kind of a mimic name. So I looked at global, I looked at services, I looked at limited, and I wrote down a lot of synonyms with these words. Then I started to juxtapose. I started to stagger them and put them together. Like global could be seen as world. International services could be seen as services could be like purchase or delivery. So you can now pick each of those synonyms and bring them together and come up with ideas. So when you come up with those ideas, you could just go to Google and just type in those combination of words and see what it brings out for you. And from there, you could actually get ideas and draft them. Now, when I sent these concepts to this client, the client ended up choosing this bigger one. Why? Because this explained to him more of his brand, and these were not the colors that was actually used. We eventually arrived at using this particular color. That was why I said that when you first present several concepts, about 3 or 4, then this client selects a particular one, then you guys have a revision on it until the client is satisfied. So this logo actually still depicts the Orlando because of the O. Then the global works in such a way that you can see it looks like a satellite. Now that explains the global. You can see the satellite around the world. That's the global. Then the company also has subsidiaries. The company is into exporting basically, but it has some subsidiaries of maybe some supplies and the likes. So that is why you can see the other 2 satellite lines up and below the satellite. So that depicts that, oh, this company has subsidiaries. So I would like you to also follow me on my social media. because a lot of ideas like this will be put out regularly, at least once a week. So it's necessary that you follow me and you also tap in from my own knowledge and also grow your own business. So you can follow me on Instagram at cosbigman, Facebook cosbigman, YouTube Leke Kayode. On YouTube it's Leke Kayode. Then my website, for which is extremedesign.com.ng. So if you want to talk to me, if you want to call me, if you want to chat me up, you can do that on any of these platforms, and I would love to hear from you.